Hi, today my message is called Everyone and Everything Leading You. So here's the short version. The human is the facade, the being is the reality. When I picked up the phone to type this in, it was 144, a symbol of the exponential spread of awakening for me. That's what that means. Think of everyone and everything leading you. The shared power of being is endless and benign. When you feel upset, you are looking toward a surface and granting it reality. You can either attempt to give reality to something that can never be real, or you can acknowledge what is real right now and forever. Okay, if that's enough for you, we're good, and otherwise, stick around. The human is the facade. The being is the reality. Okay, let's see what is here to be said. When we're upset, we have made the facade real. And it's a trick we keep playing on ourselves over and over and over again. But now I think we're getting to the point where we can step back and see, I do not have to play this trick on myself about making this mask real, making this costume real, making this facade real. Spirit can communicate through the tool of that mask, through the tool of that facade, but that's not who everyone is. Who everyone is the being. And the being is benign, and the being is wise, and the being is sane, because the being is unified, and in the unity of that being is all stability, all power, all instruction we would ever need to carry out here is contained within the power of that shared being, and it's always here. It's never not here, and it's like what we've used to block the awareness of our being, the sight of facades, time and space, bodies, what we originally used to block out the omnipresence of being, of love. That's love. Not the thing one facade seems to exchange with another facade and then cut off and then not experience with another facade. That's not love. What's love is the shared power and gentleness that's behind this very thin surface where these separate things seem to be in conflict with each other. So the human is the facade, the being is the reality. We don't have to attempt to love facades. And if we find ourselves especially loving a facade, we eventually find it far more fulfilling to get in touch with our love for the being. And our love for one being is our love for all beings. It's our love for the whole of being. It's getting in touch with what we are, which is that love. It's getting in touch with what is behind any facade, which is that love. And it's just so here and so present and so powerful and so reliable. So we're learning to tell the difference between ego love and love. We're learning to tell the difference between a facade and the being behind it. And we're learning how reliable what is behind all of the facades as one, how reliable that is. Okay, think of everyone and everything leading you. So as I show up here as some sort of separate entity, it seems that way, right? This seeming person needs to somehow make her way through time and space. And it seems that in this trajectory, I want to say seeming before everything, seeming trajectory, decisions have to be made. And we get to the point of preferring, okay, I'd rather allow harmony to make all my decisions And I want to definitely lead in that direction. And one of the things we can be shown along the way is that harmony is behind every facade. So what's immediately behind every facade, no matter how mild or how extravagant the facade of the human or even the object appears, the harmony is the being behind it, and that's all joined and shared forever. That can lead me. And that's the true essence of everything behind all the masks and surfaces, all the differing things. And I think I can trust some and distrust others because of the nature of their facade. Behind all of the facades is the same harmony. And that harmony can lead me. Now, I'm used to letting instructions from ego lead me, and I still allow this. But now I know exactly when I'm allowing it, and I can reset. Exactly when I'm allowing it is when I don't feel good. And I find along the way, I'll notice I don't feel good in certain situations, and I'll address it. And it will seem, okay, that has been addressed. But then I'll see other situations where I didn't know I didn't feel good before. I had no awareness of it. And now it's like fine-tuning. Now I know, oh, I don't feel good when this is going on either. But I didn't even know before that I didn't feel good. And so then that can be addressed and down on through the layers until we learn to rely entirely on the harmony that's just behind every surface we see. So because it's so important to rely on the harmony, we stop judging the surfaces positively and negatively. Because what we need, what is helpful to all of us, is beyond the surface, not on the surface. Okay. What else do we want to say? Think of everyone and everything leading you. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else there. Yeah, okay. It's like there's a star above everybody's head. And just a temporary teaching tool is if I look toward that star and ask it to lead me instead of looking toward the surface of someone and being influenced positively or negatively by my judgments of the surface I'm seeing and experiencing. If I just look toward that star shining above them and put the star in charge, the star will lead me. Okay. I just went to get some water, and as I was going, I got this idea of, I was being shown the path I'm on, and how every path looks different, and how my non-physical friends said to me way back when, our voice will become your voice. And now I get it, because this harmony can speak through me and can speak through everyone. And I can see that now. I can see how we come to relax into this together. But the form this took for me of receiving and speaking the messages, and it always being a conscious channel where I don't go anywhere. I'm here. But they speak through me, is in general terms, more general terms here, this is how I learn, speaking in general of these ideas. But then this transfers to my daily life, because then in an ordinary conversation I have kind of trained to let the harmony speak through me, and in a more specific context I can let the harmony speak through me, and I can listen for the harmony coming through everyone else. That part's more challenging. No, it's not even more challenging, because the extent to which I let the harmony speak through me is the extent to which I hear the harmony speaking through you, I think. Anyhow, it's all part of a bigger learning journey, all to help me function in what I perceive as my daily life, to function appropriately, and to I'm looking for the right word, act and speak from the harmony within me and to experience your contribution as coming from the harmony within you. And that's not about taking over anyone else's behavior. It's about what you perceive when you tune in to the reality of who we all are. Then what do you perceive and how do you experience it? Okay. The shared power of being is endless and benign. So when I'm feeling tense and contracted, I have completely ignored the shared power of being behind the facades. I am instead focusing on one or more of the facades I see and experience, and I'm judging it. So that is the cause of my tense or not good feeling. My own action of focusing upon and judging a facade causes my bad feeling, not a bad thing happening or not a deficient quality within someone else. That's just their facade. It doesn't matter what positive or negative quality they have. I'm here to look through the facade, to meet the being, to see I'm joined with the being, to relax into the being, and to allow the being to be in charge. So the shared power of that being is endless and benign. So everyone I meet together, what they are has no end, and what they are is completely benign. Now I still project fear. So when I meet someone today, maybe I'm going to meet somebody belligerent. And that's the fear I'm still projecting. And I will have assigned that category. You are belligerent. That's the ego game. That's how this game works, right? But we learn to, while we're still in this game, we can extend love. We don't have to project fear. We can extend love. And when we pay attention to the being, that's how we extend love. It's not about from the point of I'm being a facade that acts loving and you're being a facade that acts unloving, or maybe two facades get together and they both judge each other as loving. It's different than seeing behind every facade is love, and that love can extend everywhere, through everyone and everything. We all share that power to allow love to extend. We just forgot. And it extends through the meaningless facades. We start to see, oh, the facades don't mean anything. The love is here to extend. And the facades can be used as instruments and tools by love as we're walking through and out of our illusion. So that's the value of the facade, no matter what it seems to be, good or bad. The value of the facade is that it's a tool that spirit can use as love extends. Okay, when you feel upset, you are looking toward a surface and granting it reality. So what's real here? When I'm upset, I'm out of touch with what is real. And the remedy is to look toward what is real and to relax into that. And to remember how much everyone is loved. So I'm not really going to find my way through being upset. I may cease it temporarily and go to its opposite, but I'm not really going to find my way out of being upset permanently until I recognize what's real here, until I recognize what's unreal here. So when I'm feeling upset, I've wandered away from my awareness of what is real. When I'm looking directly toward what is real, there's all the reassurance in the world, because it's like putting somebody very stable and sane in charge of everything. And I think that's what's happening when people seem to attach intensely to a political candidate. They believe that stability and benefit is going to come from this one. And in a larger sense, we can see the harmony behind every facade, the light behind every facade, and the possibility of that light to lead us all. And we can put our trust and faith in that, and we can see how capably the light in everyone can lead us, and how much stability and reassurance and sanity is there in the light behind every facade of fear we've projected onto everyone and everything, whether it's a positive or negative surface. It doesn't matter. Those were made to conflict with each other and contrast with each other. But now we can look toward the harmony behind every surface of fear we projected and trust that and put that in charge. When you feel upset, you are looking toward a surface and granting it reality. So our feelings always tell us. And what a bad feeling can tell us is just that it's time to use time for a reset. reset toward focusing on what is real here, on the innocence behind every facade. We projected fear, and then we saw facades that were innocent and guilty in conflict with one another, different from one another. But now it's like the light behind all the facades gets turned on, and we can see what we all are together can't ever be anything but innocent, no matter what surface of fear I project. It can't ever be anything but innocent. And it's the innocence I trust, not the facade. The facade may speak its words, but if I'm not coming from a place of extending love, it's not the words I should trust, it's the being. And focusing on the being, then everything can kind of be adjusted and fall into place. You can either attempt to give reality to something that can never be real and is something to accept. The facade can never be real. Even if I seem to like it and ego is giving me positive judgments about a particular facade, that can't be real and that can't give me happiness. It can give me a temporary substitute that looks like happiness. But how do I know it's not happiness? Because it leaves and it gets replaced by a feeling of discomfort or lack. That's how I know that's not happiness. But if I look behind your facade, what do I see? The facade of fear I'm projecting on you. There's my happiness behind all the facades. And my happiness is endless. It doesn't go anywhere. And at any moment when I'm upset, I just need to reset toward that happiness. It's definitely within me. We go within on this journey. And so that's easily accessible. But the part that's really being emphasized for me right now is no matter who or what you're looking at, that endless happiness that is yours and everyone's together is right behind that facade of fear you're projecting out. And so love can extend from that happiness. Happiness can extend from that happiness, which is everywhere and in everything. So this is a reset to see it differently. You can either attempt to give reality to something that can never be real. Anything I'm upset about, there's something in there that can't be real, and I'm treating it as real. And that's crazy. And that's why it feels so crazy. So that's good. Our feelings can be very helpful. They can tell us exactly when you are treating something as real that can't ever be real. Yes, you can see, touch, remember, taste it, all the senses. And it can seem to be a component of the past. But that's the fear we're projecting. That can't make it real. It's looking past the fear we've been projecting when we're finally looking upon what is real. What is real is formless. But what is real is very powerful, and it can use all of the form we made. We made form to block out love. It can use all of the form we made to block out love to lead us through and out of our hallucination. So that's what we can trust. So we can give reality to something that can never be real, or we can acknowledge what is real right now and forever. And it's the power everybody shares. So no one is powerless. No one is without love. No one is without happiness. for all of us, it's the true happiness is within us. It's not some form temporarily bringing a limited experience of happiness to us that dies and changes to pain. That's not it. So we don't have to feel sorry for someone if they're lacking those experiences of temporary happiness. Because what can we be happy about for them? That within them is happiness. And then just beyond any facade of fear they might see on top of us is their happiness. That's their happiness because it's mine. The happiness within me is their happiness because there's only one happiness. And it's always shared. And it's always alive. And it can't ever die. So when we remember to look past the facades, happiness is here for everyone and there aren't any exceptions. So when I think there's an enemy, but I'm attempting in my mind to deny that enemy happiness, I'm cutting off the supply to myself too. So the tiniest judgment of someone as being their facade rather than the being that they are with me cuts off my happiness. And so I'm learning not to hurt myself anymore by looking and seeing what is truly here to see, not what senses would have me see. And understanding that what senses would have me see is a tool that can get used by this happiness, by this peace, by this sanity, by this joy. And not just the tool of the facade I call this human body, but everything I see, everyone and everything I see, happiness and joy and peace and sanity, can pick it up and use it to guide all of us through and out of our fever dream. So that's the good news. We know where to focus today. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you for listening and happy healing.